She married a poor mountain man.
I know.
Then he took her to a hidden mansion. 1885, a Wild West romance. The wind howled through the mountain past the day Eleanor Whitmore said her vows, rattling the wooden chapel as if warning her to turn back. She did not. With her gloved hands folded tight and her chin lifted, she faced the man everyone whispered about, the poor mountain man with worn boots and a coat mended too many times. His name was Samuel Reed, and he met her gaze with a steadiness that felt like shelter. Eleanor had not married for love. Not at first. In 1885, a woman with no dowry and a fading family name did not have that luxury. After her father's death, creditors circled like crows. When Samuel's proposal came, practical, plain, and mercifully quick, she accepted. A roof. Food. Safety. That was enough, she told herself. The town thought she was brave. Some thought she was foolish. Samuel lived high in the mountains, far from gossip and judgment. The journey to his cabin took 2 days by wagon and another on horseback. Eleanor watched the land rise and sharpen, pine forests giving way to stone and sky. Samuel rode ahead, quiet but attentive, slowing when the path narrowed, offering his hand when the trail turned cruel. The cabin was simple, clean, sturdy, and warm. Samuel apologized for its smallness. Eleanor surprised herself by smiling. "It's honest," she said, and meant it. Their early days together were gentle but distant. Samuel worked from dawn to dusk, cutting timber, trading pelts, mending tools. Eleanor cooked, cleaned, and learned the rhythms of mountain life. At night, they spoke by the fire, about weather, about work, about nothing at all. He never pressed. He never demanded. In his restraint, she felt respected, if not yet known. The mountains tested them quickly. A late snow trapped them indoors for days. When supplies thinned, Samuel quietly gave Eleanor the last of the sugar for her tea, taking his coffee black. She noticed. When he slipped on ice and bruised his ribs, she sat with him through the night, counting his breaths, warming his hands. He noticed. Kindness became their language. One spring morning, Eleanor found a wildflower placed beside her plate. The next day, too. Samuel shrugged when she asked. "They reminded me of you," he said, embarrassed by his own honesty. Something softened in her chest. Still, the townsfolk's voices echoed in her mind. "He's poor. You'll struggle. You'll regret it." She tried not to listen. Samuel never complained, never boasted. He paid his debts. He gave to those with less. Once, a traveler arrived injured and starving. Samuel fed him, sheltered him, and sent him on his way with a warm coat, Samuel's only spare. Eleanor watched, conflicted. "What if we need it?" she asked. Samuel met her eyes. "Then we'll manage." That night, Eleanor cried quietly, not from fear, but from a dawning realization. She had never known a man who chose generosity so naturally. Weeks later, Samuel asked Eleanor to come with him on a long ride. "There's something I want to show you," he said, nervous as a boy. The trail wound deep into the mountains, past cliffs and waterfalls, to a hidden valley Eleanor had never imagined. There, tucked among towering pines, stood a mansion. Stone and timber, elegant and proud, with wide windows catching the sun. Eleanor stared, breathless. "Whose is it?" Samuel dismounted, suddenly uncertain. "It's ours. Or it was my family's. My father built it with partners years ago. When he died, I left it behind. Too many memories. I live simply because it keeps me grounded." The truth struck her like thunder. This man, the one she married for safety, had chosen humility over comfort, service over display. Tears filled her eyes, not at the wealth revealed, but at the man revealed. "Why didn't you tell me?" she whispered. I wanted you to choose me, Samuel said. Not a house. In that moment, Eleanor understood love, not as romance promised, but as character proven. They did not move into the mansion right away. They returned to the cabin, finishing the season's work together. Eleanor's affection deepened into devotion. She learned Samuel's silences, his humor, his faith. He learned her dreams, of music, of books, of a home that welcomed the weary. The true test came that summer when a fire tore through the lower valley, threatening the town. Samuel rode out without hesitation, organizing men, sharing supplies, guiding families to safety. Eleanor followed, turning the mansion into a refuge, opening its doors, lighting its halls, feeding anyone who arrived. When the flames finally died, the town stood stunned. They saw the mansion. They saw the truth. More than that, they saw who Samuel had always been. That night, exhausted and soot-streaked, Eleanor found Samuel on the mansion's steps. She took his hands. I married you thinking I was being rescued, she said softly. But it was you who taught me how to be brave. He smiled, eyes shining. Then we saved each other. They made the mansion a place of welcome, not a symbol of wealth, but of warmth. Music filled its halls. Laughter followed. And in the quiet evenings, Eleanor and Samuel returned to the porch, watching the mountains breathe under the stars. Love, Eleanor learned, does not announce itself with splendor. Sometimes it arrives dressed in humility, proven by kindness, and revealed only when the fire comes. And when it does, it changes everything.